What's going on, y'all? Another episode of the Fit Fatherhood Podcast, man. Woo! It's been a minute, man. It's been a busy couple of weeks with the holidays. Christmas came around, New Year's came around, so it's been a little minute since I had the opportunity to be on. My kids are home running around crazy, so fatherhood being my utmost priority. I'm obviously spending time with them, as much time with them as I can. So it gets tough around this time of year for me to, do things outside of family time. But something I looked at the other day is you actually, I know as dudes, we don't do this very often, but I read this in Jason Wilson's book, which I just finished reading, which is great. Battle Cry is a great book. But you talk about having recreation time and time that you take to yourself away from your family, and how important it is. And this is one of the things that I do. Not to get away from my family, but I do that is just for me, kind of for you, but I do it almost therapeutically for me. And I created a little space, and I do some, you guys can't see it, right? It looks like office to you guys, but I got to do something in here to soundproof a little bit. You probably can hear my kids running around like crazy. You probably hear a little bit of an echo too, and I don't know what's causing that. It didn't echo the last time, but something's causing the echo. So gotta do something a little different, but I'm back, man. It's the new year. I'm excited. I've been doing a little bit of research. Like I said, I read Jason Wilson's book. I read a couple other books. I try to take advantage of the last couple of weeks off to really dig into a couple of different things. I know I have been talking to you guys about scheduling. I looked into a lot of habit formation stuff. I'm really looking to expand some things. I talked before about Father Forward, which is my next project. And in doing so, there's a lot of like personal development stuff that's really important that I think can help. Because when I talk to fathers, a lot of times, we're struggling with being busy or having bad habits or just having issue with those two things, like time management and self-management. And so those are things that I've been really digging into. And so today, this episode of the podcast, man, I want to talk to you guys about habits, man. I know 2022 just starting, a lot of us have goals and things that we want to accomplish. We have things that we're looking forward to, things that we want to do in this new year. But a lot of that stuff is not going to happen unless we have some really solid habits. And so what I want to talk about today is habits, right? So habits are the compound interest. Let me see how I can say this, make it make sense. And I talked about it a little bit. So habits are the compound interest to self-improvement. Okay. So every single day you have these habits that kind of stack up, and each little habit builds on another habit or builds on itself day in, day out. So these tiny persistent steps over time, they breed powerful steps, right? Like these little bitty things that you do every day end up breeding powerful results. So forget about the goal, right? Forget about the goal and focus on the process and make high level changes, right? Because when we're focused on the goal, we often lose sight of the things that happen on a daily basis, right? And as long as we are just focused way far ahead on the goal, we miss what it takes to get there. So what I hope this episode of the podcast does is it teaches you, or at least shows you, how to create good habits and eliminate bad ones. I'm hoping to teach you guys how to create a lasting change and long-term motivation in your life. Because whatever goal you have for this year, hopefully it's a goal that extends past this year. Hopefully it's a goal that's a lifetime thing. Like we talk about generational wealth or creating it. And that's not just in 1 year. That's going to be over the course of your life, over the course of numerous years, right? So, I'm hoping to help you guys find ways to do that over the course of time, right? Over the course of many years, right? So I also hope to show you how to design your environment for success and growth, okay? Because just think about it for a second. Look at what's around me right now. This looks like a pretty solid environment. It's a nice little chair back there, a plant, beautiful view. That environment is conducive of doing high quality work. your environment is really important. I'm going to get to how important your environment is a little bit later, but understand that you need to create an environment of support in order for you to reach your goal, in order for you to change your habits and create better ones. Okay. Let's see. So where do we want to start? All right. So we all set goals, right? And you might call them, what do they call it? New Year's resolutions or things that happen at the beginning of the year. But understand that goals are good for setting a direction, but systems are best for making progress. So your goal might tell you in what direction you need to go and what direction you're wanting to get to. Let's say I want to be a better father. I know I need to start making strides towards being a better father. But just wanting to be a better father won't get me there, right? It's a system that I need to put in place in order to get me to the goal that I want to get to, right? So our number one thing, the first thing we want to do is we want to focus on getting better every day and not like a whole lot, right? And I talked about this before. Our goal for each day is to get 1% better, okay? If we can get 1% better every day for a year, right? At the end of the year, we're 37 times better than we were before. And there's some science to that, and you can probably Google it. I'm not going to bore you with it. But if we get 1% better every day, then by the end of the year, at the end of 365 days, we're 37 times better than we were at the beginning of the year, right? So instead of hoping for these big sweeping changes on days, day in and day out, if we just get a little bit better every day, right, we end up getting huge improvements over the course of a year. On the flip side of that, if we get 1% worse every day for 365 days, we deplete almost to zero. Okay. So it's very important that we're always getting a little bit better, not a lot, nothing crazy, just 1% better. Okay. So the focus is like the small improvements, like what little things can we do each day? Because those small improvements end up compounding into massive, massive change. Right. So the same is true for bad habits. Okay. If we have one thing, right, one little thing that continues to happen day in and day out, and it's a negative thing, then those compound too. Right. And so while we're building these good habits, we also need to be removing some of the bad habits. Right. So that's something that we'll talk about and that we got to work on as we go through this thing. All right. So here's an example. Say you want to lose weight, right? Instead of focusing on losing 50 pounds, focus on working out for 30 minutes, 3 times a week for 30 days, right? If we can do that, right? If we can work out for 30 minutes, 3 times a week for 30 days, over time, we'll begin to see the changes that we want to see in our body, right? 30 minutes, 3 times a day 30 minutes, 3 times a week for 52 weeks is almost 5,000 minutes of exercise, right? You don't feel it all at once because you're breaking it down into small and manageable chunks. Small steps daily compound and lead to like the weight loss goal that you want, right? We want to lose 50 pounds. We're not trying to lose it all in one day, right? But we can, over time, with consistency and small, consistent steps, get where we need to get, right? I was reading a book by James Clear. It's called Atomic Habits. And he references I think it's the England or English national cycling team. For like 100 years, since like 1908, they only had like 1 gold medal, right? In 100 years of cycling, they had never had a Tour de France winner, right? But in 2003, they hired a new coach, and this new coach had a new philosophy. His goal was to get them 1% better every day. And so what he did is he dug in and he found a bunch of different ways that could get them 1% better, like just little things he could change. Like they changed the style of the seat, like they redesigned the seat for a little bit more comfort and stability. They put rubbing alcohol on the tires because it gave them better grip. They changed up, like they tried a bunch of different massage gels to help with recovery. They had them wear like heated electric shorts. They did a bunch of little things, and all these little incremental changes had huge results. Okay. Between 2007 and 2017, they had 178 medals. 178, right? 178 world champions, right? They had like 66 or 65, something like that, gold medals, right? 65 of the previous 100 and some odd years, they had 0, or they had 1, right? Now all of a sudden they got 66 in a 10-year span, right? Not only that, but they also had 5 Tour de France winners. They had never ever had one of those before, right? So these little bitty changes, like he didn't come in and make sweeping changes, he didn't get rid of a bunch of stuff, he didn't change a bunch of stuff. He made little things like, hey man, the way this riding suit fits is not as aerodynamic as maybe it can be. Maybe we adjust it a little bit, and kind of shift it a little bit, get a little bit more aerodynamic. Guys don't have to work so hard. They move a little faster. These little bitty changes, right? These little bitty changes over time, right? It didn't happen right away. He started in 2003. They didn't start winning in 2000 until 2007. So it took time over those couple of years of little changes. They built up and then boom, they took off, right? And he didn't stop there. He kept making small changes over the course of time, right? So these tiny changes appear small, but they can be transformational if you stick with it. Okay. So now what does that mean for you, right? And I'll as we go through this, I'll give you, like, as I give these kind of big ideas, like the 1% better is a big idea. I'll kind of give you how you can use that to work for you. So what does the 1% better mean to you? Give yourself a 30-day challenge. Challenge yourself to be 1% better every day. Start there. Start at 30 days, right? And then pick something that you want to improve. Like if you want to improve your knowledge, then spend 5 minutes, 10 minutes a day reading 5 to 10 pages on that topic, right? If you want to write a book, write 5 pages a day, right? Challenge yourself to be just a little bit better. Take some small action steps, right? All big things come from small beginnings, right? The seed that every habit, the seed of every habit is a single decision repeated. I'm trying to remember this quote. He said it was a quote that was in the book, and I love it. And I wrote it. I actually posted it the other day. The seed of every habit is a single decision that, if repeated, a habit sprouts. There we go, right? So these little decisions, right? We're making these little decisions, and if we repeat them, habit forms, right? So what you do, or what you can do, is pick something you want to work on. Okay, one thing you want to work on. You want to have more knowledge in a specific topic. Okay, 5 pages a day, right? You want to write a book. Okay, write 5 pages a day. You want to lose weight. Cool, 500 calories a day. Lose 500 calories a day. Minus 500 calories a day, right? Small things add up. Okay. Number 2, here's the second big idea. Focus on systems and not goals, right? I talked about it a little bit earlier. Like, goals set a direction and systems are what gets you there. Remember, if you want better results, you have to forget about the goal and then focus on the system, because the system is what gets you to the goal, right? The goal is something that's off in the distance, right? You're going to get there, but what steps does it take for you to get there, right? This idea is super, super powerful. And it's one that you can't miss, right? You can't like overlook focusing on the process or focusing on the system, right? Here's why, right? And I said this, and I told somebody this before. I told one of my clients here. I had a weight loss client named James, and dude had so he wanted to lose 57 pounds, I think was the actual numbers. 57 pounds, which is a big goal, right? Like, it's going to take some time. Like, we're talking 57 pounds. We do it in the right way. It's going to take us if you're not really active, it'll take us like 3 or 4 months. If you're really active, it's going to take us closer to a year. We want to do it slow. Like, we want to slow cook you and have it be something that is a lifetime lifestyle change. It might take us 6 months to a year. Just depends on the person, right? But when you're focused on the goal, there's a few problems with that, right? And this comes from like my years in playing sports or coaching athletes. Is when you're focused on the goal, you have to understand that winners and losers have the same goal. They go into every game, the winner of every game and the loser of every game go into the game with the same goal. They want to win the game, right? The difference is, the thing that separates them is the winner is typically the one who has better daily habits. They have a better system of success, right? When you say someone got out coached, it's because they have a better system in place. The other team might have better athletes, but that system right? Like the New England Patriots or some of these dynasty teams that we talk about that win repeatedly over time, is because they have a system in place, not just a bunch of athletes they draft from year in and year out, right? Typically, the teams that just draft athletes don't do very well. But teams with good systems, that's why coaches are so important, because they implement systems that get their teams to the goal, right? Just understand, like when you are focused on a goal, you have to have some small daily habits that help you build momentum and get better every day, right? As you work towards your goal. A goal is a short-lived change, right? If I'm looking just to lose 50 pounds, once I get to 50 pounds, then what? Right? Once I get there, now that goal is essentially not considered. It's forgotten. Like I don't even think about it anymore because I'm already there, right? If I forget about why I got to that point, like say, okay, I'm 300 pounds, I want to get down to 250. If I forget on the way down to 250 what got me to 300 because I'm so focused on 250, when I get there, it's very easy for me to go back because I don't remember or understand what was the issue, what got me there. Okay. So if you set a goal to lose weight, but along the way, you forget what you did to gain it, eventually you gain it back, right? This goes for a lot of things, right? You're talking about your relationship with your wife, your significant other, your girlfriend, your baby mama. If you guys are in a relationship, right, you got to remember, and they hear old dudes tell you this all the time, you got to do what you did to get her to keep her, right? If you get in this relationship and you get this woman and you do all these things, you're taking her out to dinner, you're swooning her, you're dating, you're doing all, you're texting, what you're doing, blah, 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 blah. Then you get married and it's like, what up? Did you cook? Oh yeah, was the refrigerator in the kitchen when you went down? Like, you know what I mean? You're not making no comment. You're not telling her she looks good. You're not taking her out to dinner. You're not, sharing moments with her and all that stuff. You end up losing it, right? So if you have a system though, if you have a system in place, you can ensure that you stay at your goal, right? Like if you have a system in place with weight loss, or you eat a certain way, you do certain things, your activity levels a certain way, then you make sure that you stay there. On the flip side, like on the relationship tip, you're talking about with you and your wife. If you have a system for the way that you operate with your wife, okay, like you have a weekly date night, that's a part of the system. Before you go to bed tonight, go to bed at night, there's certain things that you guys do. When you wake up in the morning, certain things you guys do, throughout the day, you check on her at work, you send her a little message, that's a system. It may not seem like it, but that's the system that helps you get and keep that goal, right? Here's the third thing. Goals don't lead to long-term progress because a goal is an end line. It's a destination. So when you're focused on a goal, when you get to the end, that's it, right? I mean, you have to think about it like this. You don't rise to the level of your goals. You fall to the level of your systems, right? And you've probably heard this before. We don't rise to the level of our expectations. We fall to the level of our preparation. It's the same thing, right? If I have this big goal for myself and I'm looking to try to get to that goal, I may or may not hit it, but whatever level of system that I've created underneath, right? Like my support is where I'm going to end up landing. If my system isn't very good, it's not going to be able to hold me up, right? Like, again, using one of these dynasty type teams, right? They have stars on the team, but if one of those stars goes down, they have role players. They have the bench to come in and fill up that role, right? Because they have a system where they can kind of plug and play. Like the Patriots for years were putting in just guys. They had a bunch of just guys, right? Just plugging guys in. There's a few stars, but then those other guys around them are just guys, right? It's like Tom Brady, Julian Edelman, Wes Welker, right? Like, who are those other guys? They're just plugging guys in. They bring a guy in for 1 year, he kills it, they get rid of him, right? You bring in backup quarterbacks for years, and those dudes will go to other teams and be starters, make millions of dollars just because they understood that they were in the system. Not that they did very well, right? But they were in the system. So people attributed great things to them because of the system, right? So systems create long-term habits. The Patriots are still the Patriots, even to this day. There's no Tom Brady. The Patriots are still the Patriots, right? Maybe many will say that it's Bill Belichick and that's the system. And I would say you're probably right. When he leaves, Somebody's going to bring in a new system, and they're going to be different patriots, right? But if he goes somewhere else, he's going to bring his system with him, and in a few years, that system is going to provide some success. Okay, so here's what you can do. Set a goal. Okay, whatever it is, set a goal. Goal is going to give you an aspirational direction. It's going to tell you which way to go. Okay, then you have to create a system. Create a system to support that goal, a system that's going to get you to that goal. So, for example, if you want to be smarter, you want to have more knowledge, then you're going to read daily, right? That read daily is a part of the system that points you to the goal. Okay, if you want to be healthier, you drink water every day, right? Drinking water every day is going to promote your health. If you want to be a little more specific, like drink 8 glasses or a gallon or whatever, but that's promoting your health. So if you say, I want to be more healthy, okay, what are the things that you do to be more healthy? Okay. For like, if you say something like I started now to meditate, right? Well, I'm going to meditate daily, right? I want to have a better, like clearer mind. I want to have some clarity. So I'm going to meditate daily, and it's not going to be like a huge amount, 5-10 minutes, right? But I'm going to meditate daily. Right? All right. So big item number 3, create a success-driven environment. And I talked about your environment earlier. Okay. Here's some science for you. Vision is the most powerful of the human senses. Right? Like as humans, right? Compared to animals. We don't hear very well. We don't smell very well. We don't have sharp teeth or claws or fangs. We've got thumbs, right? Our sense of taste is whatever. But our sight, our vision is very good. We can't see in the dark and all that stuff, but we have pretty good eyesight, right? The human body has 11 million sensory receptors, and almost 10 million of those are dedicated to sight. Almost half of the brain's like resources are used for vision. So what you see around you, what you surround yourself with, has a huge impact on your ability to create change, right? If you're trying to change something in your life, you have to change what you see, right? So what you see around you, it can lead to huge transformation. So your environment can either stifle you or propel you, right? It can push you forward. So when they say like surround yourself with like-minded people, somewhat, right? But you also hear too is like put yourself in a room where you're not the smartest person. And what that is you're surrounding yourself with other successful people. So that's what you see, and that's what pulls you forward, right? Because you're like, oh man, he's successful, he's doing this, he's doing that, right? You put yourself in a brotherhood of people that are doing well, and then all of a sudden you start doing well, right? You're less likely to mess up. Now, if you're trying to change habit, like say I want to play the guitar, I want to learn to play guitar. If I put the guitar in the closet, right, where I can't see it, I don't pass it on a daily basis, I only will see the guitar if I pull back the jackets, and now there's a guitar back there. I'm going to be less likely to practice my guitar if I can't see it. So I need to put my guitar in a place where I can see it so that I can use it. If I want to read books, if the book is on the back of the bookshelf or it's in some corner of the office, the chances are I'm not going to read that book, right? So I need to place things in plain sight. If I want to eat more vegetables, I need to have the vegetables on the counter. I don't need them in the bottom of the refrigerator tucked behind stuff, right? So whatever it is, you need to put it in your line of sight, right? So what should you do? Change your environment. Change your environment to meet your needs. Put things in plain sight. You want to read more books? Put books next to your nightstand. Put a book on next to the TV. Put a book next to the couch. Put a book by the dinner table, right? These places that you're going to sit more often, where you're going to spend some time, put a book next to it, right? You look over and see the book, boom, that's right, I'm supposed to be reading. Bang, I'm reading the book, right? You want to work out more? Cool. Put your workout clothes, like put your workout shoes right where you put your feet when you step out of the bed in the morning, right? When you turn over and you drop your feet out the bed and they hit workout shoes, you're like, oh, that's right, I got to work out, right? Or take your workout clothes, put them on the sink. So when you go to use the bathroom in the morning, you come out, boom, workout clothes are right there. That's right, I'm supposed to work out, right? Clean up, right? Keep things neat around you. Keeps your mind clear, right? You want to try to work on some stuff. Your environment is messy and cluttered. It's going to be hard for you to create good habits if your brain isn't clear, right? And I hope that makes sense, right? So it's just a small thing, but it's something you can do, right? All right. So here's number 4. All habits are based on a 4-step system. Okay. You may have heard this before. There's 4 steps to a habit, right? There's the cue, there's the craving, there's a response, and there's a reward. So one more time: cue, craving, response, reward. So what are those? The cue is info that tells us about the reward, right? Like, for example, if you you walk into mom's house for Thanksgiving, you can smell the food. That's your cue. Oh man, that you smell the reward, right? Now, from there you go to craving. The craving is the motivation to do something to get the reward, right? You smell it, your mouth starts watering, your stomach starts growling, your body is doing things that are making you crave it, right? It's motivating you to go over and eat it, right? Now, your response is the action that you take to get the reward. You smell it, stuff starts going on, you can start getting cravings, your stomach starts rumbling, boom, you start heading to the kitchen, right? You're taking action to get the reward, and the reward is satisfying. It's satisfying. The food is good. That's your reward, right? So cue, craving, response, reward. What should you do with that? Well, understand that what's rewarded is repeated. Okay, what's punished is avoided. So whatever you set up, if you're creating a habit, if there's a reward at the end, then you're more likely to continue to do that habit. You're more likely to continue to do that thing, right? You're getting the reward, so you're going to want to do it more. It's going to make you want to do it more. If whatever habit you create ends up with you getting a negative result, right? Something negative happens, you're probably going to avoid doing that thing. Like the first time you touched the stove after they told you not to. Boom, you touched it, finger got burnt. Okay, I'm not touching the stove no more. Right? Bad habit that we keep doing, right? We snack, we go in the pantry, getting the kids fruit snacks. You know what I mean? But we go do it. It's a bad habit, but we do it because the reward is it tastes good, right? Just understand that positive emotions equal good habits, right? Negative emotions destroy them. So we want to set up, when we are creating our habits, we want to make sure that our habits elicit positive emotions, right? Make it easy on yourself by creating things that have a reward that elicit a positive emotion, right? That makes you feel good, makes you happy, makes you excited. If I go to the gym, right? I go to the gym, and going maybe at the beginning, I'm like tired, I don't want to do it. But by the end of it, I've got these endorphins flowing. I feel good. You know what I mean? I got like this kind of almost runner's high, even though I didn't run. I got this adrenaline flowing and I feel good. That's my reward, right? Or maybe I go work out and the workout's hard and I don't want to be there. But when I come home, I make myself like a really good meal that's delicious and nutritious. And like, that's my reward, right? It gives me a good feeling and it makes me want to do it more often, right? Number five, there are 4 laws to behavior change, right? So we're talking about creating a habit. We're usually wanting to create a habit because we want to change a behavior. We want to create a new behavior. We want to do something different, right? So there's 4 laws to behavior change. And there's a simple, like there's just the 4 laws of behavior change are a simple set of rules we can use to build better habits. That's probably the best way to say it, right? So we have these 4 laws of behavior. They help us build better habits, right? The first one is we want to make it obvious. Okay, whatever we're trying to do, we want to make it obvious. Okay, we want to make it attractive. We want to make it easy. We want to make it satisfying. Okay, if we're creating a good habit or building a better habit, make it an obvious choice. Okay, we don't want to hide the food that we want to eat. Like if I want to eat, like I mentioned earlier, I want to eat more vegetables. I don't want to put the vegetables behind stuff in the refrigerator. I want to put it out in the front. I might even want to bring it out, right? If it's something that could be out on the counter, I might want to bring it out on the counter, right? If I want to read books, I don't want to hide them away. I don't want to tuck them in to my nightstand. I want them on top of the nightstand so they're obvious to me. I don't miss them, right? If what was I saying? Attractive. Make it attractive. If I want to read more, right, then I got to get more books that I like to read, right? It's not going to do me any good if I put the encyclopedia up there, if I put some book that I don't want to read on my coffee table or on my nightstand. I'm not going to read because it's not attractive to me. It doesn't make me want to read it, right? Now, for me, if I put something that's maybe sport related, personal development, men's health, fatherhood, some of those things, I'm gonna hop to it, read that every time I see it, or at least skim it. But if it's on I don't know, I don't even know what books I don't like to read, right? So that's that. Make it easy. Okay, if you want to eat more fruit, eat the fruits that are easier to eat, right? Put apples in, oranges might even be harder, right? Because you got to peel it, right? Put a fruit that's easy to eat. Put grapes out there, right? But if you put a pineapple out there, right, that's gonna be harder to do. You got to cut it, you got to slice it, peel it. You know what I mean? You got to do all this different stuff. So if I want to eat more fruit, I want to put the fruit out there that is easier for me to do. So if I want to do something, put the easiest version of it out. Does that make sense? I hope it makes sense. And make it satisfying, right? If you're not satisfied, you're not going to want to do it. If it's not good to you, you're not going to do it, right? If it's satisfying, you'll do it more. You'll want more, okay? So the exact opposite of that with bad habits, right? If you got a bad habit you're trying to break, hide it. Make it less obvious. Make it hard to do, right? Make it less attractive, right? Make it something that's not satisfying to you, right? There's the only ways you're going to get rid of it. Those are the 4 laws, right? Those laws govern what we do in terms of behavior, okay? So what should you do? You ask yourself 4 questions, right? If I'm trying to create a habit, is it obvious? Am I making it obvious? Is it attractive? Is it easy? Is it satisfying, right? If the answer is no, then it's a simple fix. Find ways to make it attractive to you. Find ways to make it easier, right? Make sure you're satisfied by what it is you're doing. Okay. Number 6, get a habit tracker, right? A habit tracker allows you to hold yourself accountable easier without being overwhelmed. Okay, you need a habit tracker of some type, preferably visual. It could be on your phone, it could be a calendar on the wall, but you need to have a tool that allows you to quantify your behavior and allows you to track your how consistent you are with actually doing it, right? So I personally do like a notebook, right? When I go to the gym, sometimes I'll use apps, right? Apps are pretty good for this. But back in the day when I first started, when I got really serious, I would use a notebook, and every day I would write down what I did, right? The day, and then there's little notes. Bench press was really hard today. Shoulder was nagging me. Got to do a better warm up, right? So I'm making these notes, and every day now I can look back at the week and dang, I got 1, 2, 3, 4 days this week, 4 out of 7. Dang, I'm doing pretty good, right? And I can track over the course of weeks. I'm tracking my habits, right? Pretty soon, once I'm hitting 4 days a week, 4 days was automatic. It was regular. Now I'm talking about, maybe I can get a 5th day in because I don't really have anything going on Saturday. Let me drop it. You know what I mean? So now I'm figuring out how I can add on to it. Okay. At the end, and here's an example from that book that I was talking about, the James Clear Atomic Habits. Talk about Jerry Seinfeld. Okay, Jerry Seinfeld he's a comedian, had a big calendar on the wall, and every day that he wrote jokes, he would put an X on the wall, right? So if he woke up that day and he wrote some jokes, boom, put an X on the calendar. His goal was to make sure that every day had an X. So at the end of the day, he could review, okay, did I write jokes today? Boom, look at that X, right? So now he's tracking his habit. Right now, he's holding himself accountable because he looks at it, and he passes by it, and he sees it, and there's no X there. I better start writing some jokes. It's 10 o'clock. Time is ticking. I better get to writing some jokes, right? So get a habit tracker. Find a habit tracker, something that you can do. Hold yourself accountable. So here's what you should do: visually track your habits, okay, and make sure you actually have it somewhere where you can see it, so you can see how far you've come. Again, I like putting it on an app on the phone, but I don't, because sometimes it gets buried in all the different apps. If you put it on the app on your phone, put it on the main home screen, not on like one of the other home screens. Put it on the main home screen, and if you can make the widget bigger, make it bigger so it's something that you can see and check off on a daily basis, or type in or enter on a daily basis, so that you can keep track of it. If it leaves your vision, remember, vision is very important. If you aren't seeing it regularly, it's easy to forget about it, right? Like, I used to, and I do sometimes still, and actually I have been. If you've been following me on Instagram, you see I've been taking a picture every time I go to the gym. Similar pose, and I'll take a picture every time I go to the gym or every time I work out. Because sometimes I work out at home and I'll take one in my bathroom. That's an accountability thing for me, but it's also me habit tracking, right? Because if I look at my phone gallery, there's a picture every day of me working out, right? So I'm tracking my habit. Okay, so figure out what it is that works for you, whether it be something, put up on your wall in your office, on your phone, or something, but something that you can see visually, that gives you a quantitative representation of your actual following through on your habit, right? Number 7, this is the 2-minute rule. Okay, the 2-minute rule is very cool, right? Because when we're trying to create a habit, we don't want the start of that habit to be difficult, right? We want the habit to be easy, to be smooth. So what the 2-minute rule is that we kind of, the 2-minute rule is I don't know, man. Here's the easiest way to say it. Okay, decisive moments set the tone for your future self. So every day there's these little moments, right, where we have to make decisions. We want those decisions to be as easy as we can. So the 2-minute rule says if we're going to create a habit, the habit should be 2 minutes. It should take us 2 minutes to do that habit, right? And any habit can be kind of broken down into like little itty bitty pieces. Okay, if I want to, I like using this one. If I want to read more, because that's one of my things this year. I normally want to read a book a week. I'm gonna try to bump it up to like 2 a week. Okay, if I want to read more, I am going to read 1 page a day. Little habit, right? Little thing. 1 page a day. Doesn't take a lot. It's very quick to start. I can read 1 page, put the book down. Now, if I start reading 1 page and it gets good, and I read 2, 3, 4, 5, I don't count. That doesn't matter. My goal is to read 1 page. 2-minute rule, right? If my goal is to run a marathon, I don't start with running a marathon. I start with a 2-minute rule. I put my shoes on, or walk to the door. Now, if I get to the door and decide to go out and run, cool. But my goal is the 2 minutes, that first little bitty piece, right? I don't want to go bigger than that. My goal is to eat healthy or eat healthier, right? I'm not talking about the whole day. I talk about wake up, have a healthy breakfast. 2-minute rule, right? It doesn't necessarily have to take you exactly 120 seconds. It's about taking a small step that you can build on, right? It doesn't have to be something huge. So here's what you do. The idea here is to start small, right? And I talked about start small and then get big, right? We want to grow. Okay, so small actions that can snowball into bigger actions. Like I said, if I want to run a marathon, if I put my shoes on and walk to the door, what happens after that is whatever, right? But I show up every day walking to that door. If I get to the door and I go out and I go run, that's icing on the cake, but that's the snowball that's starting, right? The art of showing up every day is extremely powerful, right? If I just do the little thing every day and master the art of showing up, I'm going to be light years ahead of my competition. If I have competition, I'm going to be light years ahead of myself if I'm my own competition, right? All right. So number 8, use the Goldilocks rule. And this is something that I really like, and I'd use this with my athletes, or did use this with my athletes for a very long time. It's a flow state, right? There's like a channel, right? Like that kind of runs perpendicular. This is like too easy. This is like too hard. People do their best when they operate inside that flow channel, right? If you give me something that's too easy, I'm not going to do it, right? It's too easy. I don't want to have anything to do with it. Give me something that's too hard, I'm not going to do it. It's impossible for me to do. I can't do it. Think about it this way. If I am going to work out, lift weights, right? If I pick up the 2-pound dumbbells, it's not enough of a challenge. Nothing's going to happen. It's a waste of my time. If I pick up the 100-pound dumbbells, it may be too much of a challenge. Can't even do it. Nothing's going to happen. Wasting my time. So what do? I find something in the middle and I gradually improve that without hitting that too hard level or while hitting that too low level, right? I want to find something that challenges me enough to continue going, but doesn't challenge me enough to stop me, right? In between is the optimal motivation for growth. Okay. So when you're on your path working towards your goal and you're creating your system, understand your system can't be too hard. Can't be something that's impossible, right? Like a lot of times people are losing weight, and I talk about this all the time with the people I deal with. They're like, all right, I'm gonna lose 20 pounds. January 1st, I'm going 2-a-days. But dog, you haven't worked out in 4 months. Now you're gonna go twice a day, 2 hours each. Like you don't even, first of all, you don't even have the time to do that. Right. Now, let's say you find the time, you don't have the energy, you don't have the stamina, right? Now you're going to go from eating burgers and fries 3 or 4 times a week, and now you're going to eat just chicken, rice, and broccoli. Like it's not realistic. It's too hard, right? Or you go, oh, well, I'm going to go work out, but then you go to the gym and you walk on the treadmill. And granted, depending on what level of activity you had before, that walking may be good enough. But if you're driving to the gym to go walk, it's probably not enough. Right? So what should you do? You have to identify your sweet spot. Okay, whatever it is, the thing you're working towards, you have to identify your sweet spot. What's enough to challenge you, but not enough to make you quit? Right? And as you get good or as you get better, what's enough to challenge you is going to change. It's going to keep moving up. Right? What's enough to make you stop is also going to keep moving up, and you'll continue to grow. Right? That's the goal, is to find that sweet spot, build on that sweet spot, make that sweet spot bigger. Okay. Number 8, habit stacking. This is super cool, right? This is one of those things that now we're talking about like actually implementing things to, like, we've decided what habit we want. Now we're trying to take some things to kind of build on that habit. Okay. So I have a habit that I want, and I have a habit that I already do. So I'm going to identify a habit that I already do. For example, every morning we wake up, we go to the bathroom. Most of us. I don't know. My kids are weird. They don't. They wake up in the morning. They're just ready to roll. They don't use the bathroom. I don't know what's wrong with them. Maybe they're aliens. But I wake up in the morning. I go to the bathroom. Okay. That would be a great time. That's a current habit. I don't even have any control over it. I wake up, I go to the bathroom. If I had something I wanted to add to it, like maybe I want to meditate, right? So I go to the bathroom, then I go and meditate. And maybe because I'm starting a new habit, I take a 2-minute rule, go to the bathroom, and then I go into my front room and I just pull out the yoga mat, just put it out. If I meditate, I meditate. If I don't, I don't. Or maybe I don't put on the yoga. Like, you understand what I'm saying? Like I'm taking one habit, and I'm taking my current habit and my new habit, stacking it on top. Okay. So after I do my current habit, then I will do my new habit. Right. So this allows us to build on the momentum of our already done habit, right? Something that we're already doing. Okay. So here's what you do. Find a habit that you already do, right? Something you already do. Like, for example, come home, take off my jacket, put it on the coat hanger, like a Mr. Rogers. Mr. Rogers, boom, comes home, takes off his jacket, puts it on a hanger, boom. He's changing clothes right in front of us. Like he has a habit. As he's doing that habit, he's also talking to us, right? If Mr. Rogers wanted to add a new habit, okay, every time I take my jacket off, boom, I'm going to do 10 push-ups. Now, Mr. Rogers, every time he's taking his jacket off, he's going to do his 10 push-ups. End of the day, Mr. Rogers has done his push-ups. He's built a new habit because he stacked it on top of one already existing habit. Okay. Here's another cool one. This is number 10. It's temptation bundling. Okay. We all have something that we want to do, right? But also something that we need to do. Okay. So we have a habit that we need to do. Okay. Like say, for example, I need to work out more, but I really like sitting on the couch and watching TV. So how would I bundle that? Well, I will watch TV after I work out. So after I do my new habit that I need, so after I work out, I will do the habit that I want. So after I work out, I will watch TV. right? So we need to you make your habit more attractive, right? And it's more attractive not on its own, right? I don't want to work out on its own, but because when I work out, I get to watch TV. Well, working out is a little bit more attractive, right? And you can set it up where it's like one and then the other, or you can stack the two. I can only watch TV when I work out. So now I'm working out and watching TV, but I'm getting the thing that I need because of the thing that I want. I've bundled my temptation with the thing that I need to do. Okay. Helps to kind of motivate you to get started. Helps you overcome the barrier of not wanting to get that thing done. Okay. So it's really important. And again, another one of those cool things that you can do, right? Because you're linking actions you want with actions you need. And so that's what you should do if you're in one of those situations where it's a habit that you just don't like. You know what I mean? Like your doctor told you, hey man, you need to lose 20 pounds. I need you to go exercise. And you're like, bro, I hate exercising. Absolutely hate it with a passion. And the doc goes, hey, well, what do you like? Doc, I really like watching YouTube. Cool. Well, you can't watch YouTube unless you're on a treadmill walking. Cool. Boom. Now you got a choice. You either get on a treadmill and walk, then watch YouTube, or watch YouTube on a treadmill. Now you've bundled that temptation and you're getting the habit you need along with the habit you want. Okay. Number 11. This is kind of a culmination of all the things or some of the things that I talked about with a couple of new things. Okay. And this is some simple ways to form effective habits. Okay. And these are powerful, practical ways to create effective habits. Okay. Number one, this is the implementation intention. Okay. And again, these are like formulas, right? Like the last two I mentioned are formulas. These are formulas. And the formula is important, right? It's always the I will or after I kind of formula. So implementation intention is I will blank at blank time at blank location, right? I will do whatever behavior at whatever time at whatever location. When we take those things and combine them, we have the behavior, a specific time and a specific location. We are more likely to do it because we've already in our mind created this scenario. So when I say I want to work out, I will work out. Not only am I going to work out, but I'm going to work out at 6 a.m. Not only am I going to work out, I'm going to work out at 6 a.m. and I'm going to work out at 24-hour fitness. So now I've taken those three things and put them together. Okay. And now because I've put them together in my mind, I've already created that experience of me going to the gym to work out at 6 a.m. at 24-hour fitness. At 24-hour fitness at 6 a.m., I'm working out. I'm working out at 24-hour fitness at 6 a.m. I work out at 6 a.m. at 24-hour fitness. You see, there's multiple ways for my brain to put it all together, but ultimately it gets me to do what I want to do, right? Or what I need to do, right? It helps to improve execution because I had to execute it in my head first, right? I had to put those things together. I had to take the thing that I need to do. I had to figure out an optimal time for me to do it, the time that works, and I had to figure out an optimal location. So I've done so much work that it's more likely for me to actually follow through because I've done the work to create the scenario. I hope that makes sense. Habit stacking I talked about, right? Again, this is the formula. After I do current habit that I have, I will do current habit that I want to do, like my new habit, after I do current habit, I will do new habit. Easiest way to do it, right? After I do current habit, I will do new habit. After I brush my teeth, I will wash my face. Like easy, simple one, right? After I finish my workout, I will have my protein shake, right? After each meal, I will have 2 glasses of water, right? Number 3. So number 1 was implementation intention. Number 2 was habit stacking. Number 3, combine habit stacking and temptation bundling. This creates like a cycle. Okay. This just makes the two things stronger. When you take the two things, you put them together, it just makes them a little bit stronger and it makes it last longer. Like it's kind of a thing that continues to go. So if I combine habit stacking and temptation bundling, what I do is after I do my current habit, I will do the habit I need. And after I do the habit I need, I get to do the habit I want. Right. So after I come home from work, right? Because I come home from work every day. It's a habit. I come home from work. I don't leave work and go fly in the sky. After I leave work, I come home. It's this habit I already do. It's a current one. It's the easy one. I don't have to think about it. Come home from work, I will work out, right? Which is the habit that I need. And after I work out, I'm going to watch TV, right? So I sandwich the thing that I need in between what I already do and what I like to do, right? By doing that, now I've created like a delicious habit sandwich, right? And then the last one is habit stacking, habit tracking, right? Number 4, we stack those habits, then we track it, right? It makes it easier to track because we have that current habit. Did I brush my teeth this morning? Yes. When I brush my teeth, did I do my yoga or my meditation? Right? I definitely brushed my teeth. Now I can track it because I know that I did that thing and I should have had the other habit on top of it. Now I'm tracking and stacking, right? All right. One more left. Actually, you know what? I'm not going to do one more. I'm going to kind of recap what we've done. Okay. So we're talking about creating a habit, and it's 2022, guys. We're trying to be better in 2022, right? Everybody's new year, new you. In order to reach the goals or resolutions that we set for ourselves, we must first let go of the goal and then focus on the process. And the process is the system that we create in order to get us to the goal. That system consists of habits, small actions that we do on a daily basis that build into big things, right? Remember, the small changes compound, right? Small changes compounding. So what I'm asking you to do is, as you listen to this podcast, and we're coming to the end of this podcast, is that you pick one thing, right? You make one simple change today, right? When you hear this podcast right now, as you're listening to this, I want you to start thinking about one thing you can change today, right? One little small thing you can change today that builds towards your goal, okay? And then change that thing. Change it. Build on it. Get 1% better from today to tomorrow, and then 1% better the day after that. By the end of the 2022, I need you, right? I need you to be 37 times better than you are right now. Not only do I need you to, you need you to. And more importantly, your family needs you to. Your kids need you to. They need you to be better. You might already be a really good father, but imagine how good you could be if you were 37x what you are right now, right? As a father, as a husband, as a employee, or as an entrepreneur, if you get 37x where you are right now, right? If I told you that if you invested $1,000 right now, I can get you 37 times the return, would you do it? The answer is probably yes, right? Who wouldn't? Okay, most of you would probably ask me, what do I have to do? What you have to do is make small changes, just a small change every day, right? Just find these little things, right? Be the English cycle team coach. Find the little things that you can do every day that ultimately leads to your goal, right? What is a small thing that you can do on a daily basis that makes you a more present and available husband? What are the little things that you can do that gives you that deeper bond and connection with your kid, right? What are the small things you can do for yourself, right, that helps you be a better man and a better person, right? And always looking for like ways to be better, right? 1% better every day. It doesn't have to be the same thing. It doesn't have to be the cliche things, right? There's little things that compound on a daily basis that get you to where you need to be, right? All right, so I'm gonna let you guys go. I really appreciate, again, always, guys, always appreciate you guys joining me. Appreciate you guys jumping in. Somewhere in here along the podcast, you probably heard a commercial or something with me talking about a habit, Breaking Bad Habits ebook that I put together. That ebook is really cool. It's not just about breaking bad habits, it's also about building good ones. Breaking Bad, the TV show, it seemed like a really cool way to kind of lead into it. So Breaking Bad was dope. Breaking Bad Habits, but building good ones is really cool. You go to habitbroke.com, and you'll see that. You can find it there at habitbroke.com. I'm trying to think of what else. My wife and I are jumping back into the seat to get back into our podcast. So you're looking out for the Meditate, Motivate, Movement podcast. I'm excited for that. Do some new things in 2022. We previously always talked about meditation, motivation, and movement, but I think I'm gonna try to get a little bit of marriage in there. I know you guys may or may not know we do a yearly couples retreat. I want to weasel some marriage stuff in there because we are a married couple and we do a couples retreat. And I think it's important. And it seems like people like when we talk about that kind of stuff. So we're going to do that a little bit this year. I'm interested, man. I'm interested to hear what some of you guys' goals are for this year. So if you are listening to this via the website at www.forfitfatherhood.com, go ahead and leave a comment, man. What are your goals for this year? What are you guys doing? What are we trying to accomplish? Where are we trying to go? Where are we trying to take it in fatherhood in 2022? I'm excited to hear it, and I look forward to talking to you guys. If you aren't already, please go and follow me at You Can Call Me Coach on Instagram and Twitter. The letter U Can Call Me Coach. You can also follow the podcast at For Fit Fatherhood. The number 4 Fit Fatherhood, and the you can go to the website at www.4fitfatherhood.com. All right, guys, I'm gonna let you go. I know you guys are busy men. You got tons of stuff to do with your family. You're gonna go be present and available and be the best man that you can be, getting 1% better every day. So you're 37 times better at the end of the year. Remember, no matter what happens in your life, you're always going to father forward. All right, dog. Deuce.